am Reverend Doretha Flournoy, and I am one of the pastors of this, this fledgling group of folk who are walking in faith, believing God that there is a need for another spiritual community that is for us. You know, we started out with the name A Church for Us. But you know, for the folks who got a little sensitive about the us, because they felt like they were kind of on the outside, we kind of switched it to Church for All.
Amen.
But I tell you, there's something about knowing that there's a place that you can go to that's designed specifically to meet your needs. That's designed specifically to reflect the cultural values that you have. Designed specifically so that you can walk in the door with your partner, holding hands, sitting as a family, hugging up in the service when the Spirit moves you and you feel close. And you know how the heterosexual folk do that. You know, in church, in the Christian churches, you see that happening from time to time. They put their arm around their partner and you know that that's a family. Where do we go for that? Where does that happen for us? And so our goal was to create an environment where everybody could come together, where everybody could sit at the table, and together we would all be equally invested. We would all be equally empowered. We would all be equally blessed. Amen. Nobody's here because they're a little less than or a little more than. Everybody here is on the same level, you know? And so for us, it was important that we start doing this work at around this time. And it takes time to kind of build to this place. It takes time to get enough resources together to be able to have a service every Sunday. We have right now probably enough to do once a month. And so, you know, with the support of folks like you, that we can do that. We can do the once a month, and then next year, this time, hopefully we will build up to every Sunday. But our goal is to get there because God has given us the vision. God has put it in our hearts. We hear from people all the time about how they need a place, how they felt like God didn't love them anymore, how they felt like it wasn't okay for them to be who they were, and that God didn't love them, and that they were excluded outside the family of God. And so we said, you know what, that is not okay. That is not okay. For God has given us a promise. We're taking back those promises. We're holding on to the promise. You know, the word in that song, it talks about reaping the harvest. And reaping is not a nice situation. It's not a nice process. It's not something that's offered to you at the table where you're sitting there and you just walk up and collect it. Think about farmers. The fruit that's on those trees is holding on for dear life. It has to be almost snatched from the branches. It has to be taken away. It can't. The tree is not handing it to the harvesters when they come through. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about taking back the promises that God has given to us. We're talking about putting ourselves in a place where we feel like we can walk in and take what God has been promising to us, the promises that we had years ago, the promises that we had when we were children, that we would grow to be healthy and whole human beings, that we would grow to be productive citizens, that we would grow to have contributions to the community. We want to take those promises back.